Esports is what happens when two or more groups of players really are very, very good at a game, and then they play that game against each other in front of an audience. There's thousands of people playing games competitively, competing in tournaments, and just trying to show the world how elite their skills are.
Doesn't sound right, you saying
it doesn't,
the word
it doesn't,
does it?
no, because it's a fucking shit word. But you already know this, you know about esports. Why are we telling you about esports?
Over the past couple of weeks, there's been a bizarrely concerted drive to bring esports into the mainstream here in the UK. UK retailer Game launched the country's biggest gaming and esports arena in Bristol last week as part of their Belong programme. For those who don't know, Belong is an effort by the struggling retailer Game to revamp a number of their stores so that in addition to selling games, customers can actually play there, socially and competitively. The recently revamped Belong Centre in Bristol has a dedicated VR space and a fully equipped arena for esports tournaments, which is also looking for talented players to create their own team. So Game seems serious about getting into the esports scene, and with the actual retail sales not being so hot right now, it makes sense that they're trying to branch out into other markets.
However, Game isn't the only business making a concerted effort to make esports a mainstream thing here. Just 6 days after this was announced, another esports and gaming centre opened in Aberdeen in Scotland, making it Scotland's first esports centre. The bar is called Engage Gaming, and like Belong, it offers a dedicated VR space, a relaxation zone, and esports areas which will host local tournaments. Engage's digital marketing manager Stuart Gibson said, "We are really excited about this venture and looking forward to finally having a place where anyone with an interest in gaming can get together and play games, compete, or watch streamed tournaments." So that's pretty weird, right? Just by coincidence, there's two esports centres opening up in the UK in the space of a week. I don't know what that's about, but I'm glad to see it happen. Game need to change their business model. They need to do something because retail isn't working out for them, so they've got to do something else. I think it's a great idea bringing games together and doing something cool with it.
You see the rise in the digital marketplace these days. Game and like physical retailers are struggling big time. They need to branch out, and I think they're doing a good job here, like getting gamers together, inviting people to play VR to try it out. Not everyone gets the opportunity to play VR, so that's a great way to get people out into their store, getting people involved in communities and getting people together to talk about gaming. I think it's awesome.
Communities these days, it's not just based on where you live. Your community isn't the street that you live on, or the village that you live in, or the town that you live. It's just what your interests are, the people you speak to online, and this is a great way of pulling those people with this particular interest in gaming together. People will travel far for this. I think people would go a long way to chill out with other people and watch esports being played and play esports as well.
But it doesn't end there, because again, in the last week, it was announced that esports coverage would be regularly provided to viewers of the state broadcaster, the BBC. Seriously, the home of the Antiques Roadshow and the News at 10 will now be showing Chun-Li high-kicking the f*** out of someone on a regular basis.
That is weird. I find this
feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As a British person used to the BBC, used to things like Antiques Roadshow. It seems weird, yeah.
That's what the BBC does. BBC does a lot of good things, very good things. I never thought they would be doing Street Fighter 5 esports and all kinds of different esports. That's amazing. What an age we live in.
It is awesome that they're moving with the times. The iPlayer was one of the first streaming services, and it's a really good service as well. You can get all sorts of on-demand video on it. It's absolutely awesome. And the fact that they are moving with technology and they're moving with trends too. Yeah. A lot of people interested in gaming now. Why wouldn't they?
Anyone over the age of 50 seeing this, they was like, "Oh, is this what my license fee is going towards? Bloody esports! So you go outside and play some real sports, mate."
You look at the BBC Twitter account, because they tweeted that esports is going to be covered, and it literally is like people like that.
Angry dads.
It's so funny. It's so funny. It's unbelievable. Last week, the BBC struck a deal with esports organisation Gfinity to stream 6 weeks worth of events for games such as Street Fighter 5, Rocket League and Counter-Strike Global Offensive via the BBC iPlayer service. But also this week, Gfinity struck a deal with BT, one of the UK's largest broadcasters, to stream the same tournaments through the BT Sport channels. So just why are the mainstream media starting to take an interest in esports? Well, it's probably because it's worth an awful lot of money.
Yeah, there's a lot of cash in esports. last week, American news network CNBC sat down with the CEO of Logitech, Bracken Darrell, and top-ranked esports player Andy Din. Darrell told CNBC there was an explosion in the esports scene and the industry rakes in millions of dollars every year, whereas Din reckons the industry is already valued in the billions of dollars. Din runs a League of Legends team and he believes eventually the esports industry will be worth multiple billions. This isn't too hard to believe because during his own career as an esports player, Din earned an estimated $554,000 in prize winnings. Darrell agreed with Din, saying esports teams already have to invest millions buying into tournaments, and esports will soon be competing with the likes of the NBA and NFL. The costs involved in it are huge. Entry fees, licenses, accommodating your players, there is a lot to pay for in esports. And with the esports industry making almost $700 million in 2017 so far, it's no wonder the mainstream media want a piece of the pie. Suddenly, in the last 2 weeks, there's been like 4 big news stories relating to esports in the UK. It's this just weird effort suddenly to make it mainstream, to make it a normal thing in the UK, to be watching other people playing games.
Yeah, you think of countries like South Korea where they have like huge tournaments. It's not unusual to turn on your TV in South Korea and watch a gaming tournament, like an esports tournament. It sounds very weird to us, but it's normal for them. It's normalised. Whereas in our country, it seems, we were laughing that it seems weird that the BBC might take it up and start covering that sort of stuff. But this is the future, surely.
This is the step, isn't it? This is the first step. To be honest, it's very welcome news. It's great to see more gaming on mainstream platforms and stuff. So, it might seem to you like everyone is just on YouTube and Twitch and stuff these days. Nobody watches real TV anymore. A lot of people still do, especially in the UK. So it's great that there's going to be that kind of access to esports, a new thing. They can access that easier than ever now.
So just the sheer amount of money alone is attracting other people, like we said, who want a piece of the pie. And if you just look at some screenshots of huge stadiums filled with people watching these events, it's absolutely huge. Can you imagine that kind of thing happening in the UK? Would you be interested in going? I mean, I don't know. Would you, Mike?
I wouldn't go all the way to Bristol for it.
Just watch it on the stream,
Probably wouldn't do that, to be honest. Belong is what? That's not a good name. I don't think Belong is a good name.
It's part of its community word.
Yeah, I know, but it's too earnest. It's too it feels like the name of a community centre. It's like, right. Belong, and that's where it's like a rehab centre or something like that. But I don't know. It's not good. Change the name. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I actually watched some of the iPlayer coverage of esports this week, and they were playing Street Fighter, the new one, was it Street Fighter 5? Yeah, and it was actually strangely entertaining. It reminds me of being 15, 16 again, playing Street Fighter with your mates, and there's that banter involved in it. If you win a round, you're like, yeah! I don't know, it's a lot of fun. I'd recommend anybody to just check out to see if you're interested in it, because I'm interested in watching more now, having just watched it, because I'd assumed that I wouldn't be interested in it, but having been exposed to it, it's got my interest, so do check it out.
So there you go, guys. Esports seem to be arriving in a big way in the UK finally. Are you surprised by this? Are you interested? Let us know down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. There's another video there which you can watch right now, and a link to Patreon if you want to support us and the channel. See you next time.